There are two ways that I use when I'm making flowers petals using Stampin' Up! Watercolor pencils. I call it the dry method or the wet method. With the dry method, it's really straightforward. All you need to do is shade your watercolor paper with your pencil and then get a wet brush and drag the colors outwards. With the wet method, which I personally prefer, it's actually easier and the colors come out vibrant. So with the wet method, all you need to do is dip the tip of your watercolor pencil in water and then make dots onto your watercolor paper. Get your slightly wet brush and just spread the color outwards. You will find that the color would come out really lively and more bright compared to using the dry method. I think you can see straight away the difference between the two methods. The first flower with the 4 petals was actually a dry method technique, and the second one and the third one are both using the wet method technique. I did this for comparison so you could see it straight away. So after coloring one petal, move on to the next. But make sure that you do not spread the color of one petal to the other. And if you wish to go back to the first one that you did, make sure that it's dry. Now I'm going to put some dark brown spots at the middle of the flowers. To do this, I would dip the tip of the watercolor pencil first in water. This makes it soft and easier to glide or use, and just make dots at the center. And if you feel that it's getting drier, just dip it again and make those dots again. Easy. So after making those dots at the center of the flowers, you have the option of probably spreading the brown colors outwards. Not too much water on the brush, and just spread it a bit, just so to make the brown blend with the pink or any color of flower of your choice. So for the leaves, I'm doing the same technique, the wet method technique. I have used 3 colors of the Stampin' Up! Watercolor pencils, the Daffodil Delight, the Old Olive, and the Bermuda Bay. So these 3 colors were actually used simultaneously to come up with a different outcome. So if you only use one color, the result will be plain. So I think adding 1 or 2 colors on top of one original color will add texture to it. So I am using here a watercolor paper, about 300 GSM, and it is cold pressed. The reason why I use cold pressed watercolor paper is that it does not absorb water quickly, and the colors get trapped into a certain area. It is easier to manage, and with watercolor pencils, it just glides on smoothly. So this is my preferred paper, cold pressed, and I think any thickness will do, but I just prefer using the 300 GSM. So if one area is dry, take for example the leaves, you can go back to it to manipulate the colors and adding a different shade. In this case, I'm using the Bermuda Bay. So at first it was old olive, and then I used yellow, and then Bermuda Bay, and then I go back to yellow. So there's no right or wrong here, as long as you're happy on how it looks like. It looks dark at first, but when the color dries up, it will be actually lighter.